Welcome to Lava Lamp Lounge, another episode where we talk about a completely random pairing of a board game and a film. When I say random pairing of a board game and film, the board game and film are connected. Yes. But I meant like, when I say random pairing, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, we're randomly grabbing a game and randomly grabbing a movie. No.
Like we're sloppy, inexperienced fools.
Well, we are, though. But I meant that typically how this works is we pick a random game and then, or movie, and then try to connect that with another in some way.
It
right?
sometimes starts with a movie, sometimes starts with a game.
Right.
The tricky part this time was we started with a game called Unmatched.
Which you probably know if you're even watching this. Yeah, I'd imagine. Unmatched is a very popular game.
And once we start describing the game, then you might see why it was kind of tricky finding a movie that paired well with it. But we'll get into the movie later.
Unmatched was originally Star Wars Epic Duels. And Unmatched came out, and you can, if you ever thought of like who would win in a fight between Sherlock Holmes and Sinbad, then Unmatched is kind of your game. It mismatches a bunch of random characters from pop culture, fiction, Creative Commons license, whatever, and fights them, puts them in an arena to fight together. So you can have Buffy, you can have T-Rex from Jurassic Park, you can have Teen Titans, you can have Nikola Tesla in this one, you can have Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde, Alice in Wonderland.
Muhammad Ali.
There's no Muhammad Ali.
Marissa Tomei.
There's no Marissa Tomei. Are you done?
Malalia. Malalia.
Who are you trying to say?
Malalia.
Melania? Trump's wife?
Sure.
Anyway, you bring them together. What we're going to be talking about, it's kind of hip right now, as are co-op games in general, is the cooperative version of Unmatched that just came out, the cooperative set, called Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. So in this, instead of fighting each other, or teams of players fighting each other, you're actually fighting against a common enemy. The enemies in this box are the Mothman and Martian invaders. So you can kind of see from the box, I'm sure we'll have fancy footage that Cody will cobble together showing the different pictures and components, but you choose either the Martians or the Mothman, and you fight together as a unit, cooperatively to fight them. I think the characters in this are Nikola Tesla, Golden Bat, who's like a Japanese superhero, Jill Trent, who's like an old comic character, and Annie Christmas, who's, I believe, like New Orleans kind of like Cajun folklore character. And they all have, of course, their special abilities, special decks, and all play very differently. And instead of fighting against each other, you're again fighting against the Mothman or the Martians, right? If you played the previous Unmatched games, which chances are you have, there's no big change in the artwork or anything.
It doesn't feel like a
If you like that style, like this style, they're all unique. The decks are unique.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a messy cobbling
patchwork.
Yeah, it feels like pretty cohesive and like, all the artwork. It probably helps that all the cards are the same layout and everything. Mm-hmm. I like the artwork of the board. I like the artwork of the aliens. I like the artwork of Mothman. And I like the characters that they choose to put in this Tales to Amaze. I think all the characters are
different.
Characters other than Tesla I couldn't think to play as, but they're like unique and cool, and I think they create a fun setting.
They were probably public domain, which is why they...
Santa Claus might be a character.
Right. Well, he probably will.
Mickey Mouse now. Yeah. Complexity. I feel like it's harder to pin down with this game because we have played versus aliens and we played versus Mothman plenty of times with several friends. And then we just recently played with just the two of us.
Which you'll probably see on this video.
And it was much harder. In fact, we died before we even touched the aliens. Now.
Oh, yeah, it's literally going to happen now anyway.
Yeah.
So we lose.
I got this. Let's go.
So complexity it's simple. Like you have two actions. You have a cheat sheet. There's a couple things you can do. The complexity of the game is simple. I think the scaling of how difficult can vary, depends on the player count and everything. But the complexity is, I feel like most anyone could pick up this game. We've played it several times. I think because you can have different monsters depending on their player count, you can have different monsters in there. So it is fun to see, like, oh, let's have the Blob or the Frogman.
To clarify, when we say different monsters, I know I said earlier you fight either the alien or Mothman, but you also have their equivalent, the villain's equivalent of sidekicks, which are called minions, and you choose which minions you want to fight in addition to the big bad. So, like he just said, there's Jersey Devil, Skunk Ape, Blob, Tarantula, Jersey Devil,
Frogman,
Queen Ant. That's about it, I think.
Frog guy.
I don't remember the frog's name.
Yeah, Frogman or something like that.
I don't know. There's a frog.
The side characters, the side monsters are fun because they play kind of, for the most part, differently, and it's just fun to, like, have different things to kind of target and everything like that, and it kind of, it just feel like it's a fun add-in.
Yeah, well, and also to go with talking about the replayability. You get out the coffin. I'm sorry. To talk about the replayability, you have, again, you can customize the monsters like he said, but what's also nice is if you have a favorite character from traditional Unmatched, you can play with them in this set. Which we did that on our last game that you probably will see either before or after this, depending on how Cody edits this. I don't even know. I played Sherlock Holmes from the Cobble and Fog Unmatched set, and Cody played Deadpool from the Deadpool set. There's not really a set, it's Deadpool. And we got shellacked, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
So the replayability is interesting because, yeah, you can choose different characters. We probably didn't choose the best characters for this co-op set, to be honest. But also, the scalability, the monster's more difficult, the more players you have, more difficult meaning he has more health. He also has more minions. So if you're playing with 4 players, you're fighting against the monster and 4 minions. If you're, and also the main monster, again, the Martian or the Mothman, has 10 points per player. So if you're fighting him with 2 players, he has 20 points of damage or takes 20 points of damage. You're fighting with 3 players, takes 30 points of damage. But there's a mechanic with the Martian that we found was a little hard with just 2 people. But getting off track a little bit, the replayability is great because you can customize it. You can add whatever characters you want from previous sets. You can customize the monsters. You can choose to fight the Mothman or the Martian. So I'd say replayability is very high.
Replayability all depends on how much money you put into the other Unmatched sets. Because you can replay it as every kind of character imaginable, and it's fun.
B-U-Y B-U-Y
Theme. Obviously, I think they're going for this cheesy 50s sci-fi theme, right? That's the vibe I get from it. Is that, as far as the theme, is that what you get as well, or?
Yeah, I love that theme because it's aliens and they're flying around like these little cornfields.
Unidentified flying objects.
Old school aliens at cornfields. Mothman in the city and the bridges. I feel like
definitely like 50s schlock sci-fi villains that you're dealing with, right?
And I feel like it I don't know, all the board, the set, the characters, like
theme comes over well.
Yeah, all the other kind of urban legend enemy monsters, like the theme is really cool. It's really fun. You can mess up the theme by adding like Deadpool or
we had like, Deadpool and Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah, or you can like add a T-Rex or whatever, like so you can mess up with the theme, but like the theme of this board, if you just play with all the characters in this board, awesome, it's fun.
And it's just, yeah, I agree. Luck versus skill. I say there's a fair amount of luck in this game, I feel like. Because you have decks, obviously, like Unmatched, regular Unmatched. You have your deck, and you're at the mercy of your deck, and you're at the mercy of what cards come out. In this game, there's no set turn order. The turn order is determined by an initiative deck. You flip the top card in the initiative deck, and that's whose turn it is next. So it might be the Mothman's turn, it might be my turn, it might be his turn, it might be one of the minions' turns. So you can get, depending on the...
You can get boned by being like the last 2 players each time.
In the initiative set, which actually happened to us a couple times this last game. So
and then like the characters you're fighting, the monsters, like they have a random card that they play, and that is their attack or defense.
Yes.
And that could also, like, you know, that's luck.
Of course.
And so, obviously, there's strategy. Like, you're trying to, like, figure out how are you going to, if you're going to burn a car to protect the field, if you're going to attack, if you're going to just spend your time moving and getting cards. There's definitely strategy, but I think this game, more so than some of the other games we talked about, there's more luck.
Okay. Rating? You want to go first or me?
Unmatched.
You want to keep coughing randomly.
I like...
Or do you want to guess? I'm going to guess yours. Can I guess yours? It's a running joke already, right?
Yeah.
8.5. If that's what it is, don't change it. Own up.
No, I would go 8. I like the aliens. And
it would have been 8.5.
I like the aliens, and I like the Mothman, and I like
Mr. 8.5.
choosing characters.
Mr. 8.5.
If it would be 8.5, maybe if I chose Invisible Man, because I like Invisible Man, and if we didn't get our asses handed to us.
So your rating.
No, it was still fun.
Your rating's colored.
Yeah, even we lost very, very heavily, but it was still fun.
What do you prefer? Which we usually win, by the way. We usually win, but we usually play with 4. Do you like this or based Unmatched more?
I like this.
You like the co-op more?
Because I like the setting of the aliens and the Mothman and the other monsters.
Yeah.
And also like working together, because I feel like Unmatched it's a quick enough game that it can kind of be like a little cutthroaty.
Our group doesn't necessarily do well.
We're directly fighting each other.
With competitive games. I mean, is that a fair statement? I don't...
It depends on the game, and it depends on the like dynamic of the group
I
that night.
usually don't do well with competitive games. I'll put it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
You said 8?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7. Solid 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this more than regular Unmatched.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
would you give regular Unmatched?
Ooh. 6.5?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably get like 7, 6.5,
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you like Unmatched and you like co-op games, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No-brainer! Right?
Yeah. Unmatched. Fun. Tales to Amaze.
Tales to Amaze. Then we go to in the tiki room, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Something of that nature.
I can't remember what it's called. I've heard it like a million fucking times. I don't remember what it's called.
Wait.
It's a tiki thing, but I can't remember the song.
I got nothing. We're going to be talking about a film. Now, when one thinks of Unmatched, I don't know about you, but I think about a mishmash, genre-defying kind of thing. You got sci-fi with sci-fi characters. You got action with action characters. You kind of got folk characters. I would think of Unmatched as a kind of a genre mismatch. Would you agree, Cody?
I would definitely agree that it combines a lot of different genres, a lot of different themes, and
right,
all together.
Unmatched in general.
And it does it well.
Right. I know we talked about the co-op-y version, which is obviously 50s kind of sci-fi, but even the characters are still genre defined from different realms. You got like Tesla, Golden Bat. So, we're going to talk about a film that kind of sort of is I would say, is a genre-defined film. I guess... What would you say the genre of the film is that we're about to talk about? I mean, it's a comedy. For sure, it's a comedy. But I think that's pretty generic. It's a comedy, I guess. But
bad comedy.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour, but I have something you want.
A new TV?
It broadcast programs no one had ever seen.
Wednesday at 9, don't miss an all-new episode of The Silencer of the Lambs.
Then one night, Roy and Helen Nabel got sucked in and discovered that hell is one TV show after another.
Let's welcome our new contestants, Roy and Helen Nabo!
and they're starring in every show.
I've watched enough wrestling to know one thing. It's all fake. No one ever gets... Not fake. Not fake.
Hold on.
You talk about it because you are familiar with this movie. This is your movie.
What do you mean my movie? I didn't like.
Well, your suggestion. Like this is you.
Am I giving a synopsis? We didn't do the synopsis.
Yeah, we'll do synopsis.
Okay. So, you have John Ritter, who basically plays a couch potato in Seattle, Washington. Television addict, you would say, right?
Yeah.
And he unwittingly sells his soul for a fancy pants 666 channel cable dish satellite TV system thing, and gets him and his wife get sucked in and have to endure 24 hours of this TV world gauntlet lest they lose their souls.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a real movie, by the way. What I just if this movie wasn't just embedded in my brain because I saw it at such a young age or whatever, like let's say I never saw this movie, and I'm Chris Dowalder in what year are we in? 2024, and I've never seen this movie, had no designs on the movie. Let's say the movie didn't exist. Mm-hmm. And you came to my house and said, there's a movie where people get sucked into a television and have to go through different TV shows or TV tropes, TV spoofs, whatever you want to say, for 24 hours, or they lose their soul to the devil. I'd say you're making that up. I would say that's not a real movie.
That's the thing about this movie. The premise, everything you just described, I think honestly sounds like a really fucking cool premise.
So, yeah, what I really like about the film is, again, it's kind of genre bending. You don't see a lot of those. It definitely takes chances. One thing I didn't like about the film, I don't know why this particular, I know we're avoiding spoilers, but I don't think this is a really big spoiler. I don't know anyway, the scene where they're in Alaska or whatever, and the wolves are like attacking them. And the footage of the wolves growling and stuff was obviously like dubbed in because the wolves are like have like no reaction at all, and they're just kind of
one of the wolves is
looking,
like wagging
they're just
tail,
they're just kind of like looking at him, and it's like kind of like when you watch a movie and they always like the obligatory car chase, and they always like dub in like the screeching, like and the cars are just obviously like cruising around,
parking or something.
Yeah, so, but I thought that was really funny. I mean, that was just one thing that, particularly when I've seen this movie probably 47 million times, but I obviously rewatched it again for our discussion, and that part really stuck out to me with the wolves for some reason. I don't know why. But I don't know. Some initial thoughts from you.
After I watched it, I remember thinking, this is a great premise. I just didn't like how it kind of played out. I've never been a huge John Ritter fan.
It's horrible. Don't speak ill of the dead.
I don't think he's very funny.
I don't know it's about funny necessarily.
I don't know. But I love the premise, and I loved. So as they get sucked in, and obviously there's a couple like, from the trailers you can see that they're on a game show. There's a western.
There's a cartoon. There's a noir movie. There's wrestling.
But in that,
the French Revolution,
you kind of get snippets of other couples who've been sucked into the same premise.
Yes,
and you also get some of the. Eventually, you'll see that the couple that gets sucked in are John Ritter and his wife. Their kids discover that their parents are sucked in.
Spoilers.
And the kids are channel surfing, and essentially you see a bunch of different channels that maybe no one's really in, and you see kind of some of the options.
And there's like skits,
and
like,
it's
of
very
old TV shows, basically.
So just like a little snippets of like what channels are on there, and I thought that was super creative, and it got freaking dark. Some of them are really dark and macabre, and I thought that was hilarious. No, I love that.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part about the whole movie, just seeing these little. Because at first I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of like a corny little, cute little comedy, and then they would show you something like that, and I'm like, oh my god, like that's like really, really interesting, and that's really like creative. I was surprised by like driving over Miss Daisy.
Right,
I was
right.
surprised by how dark some of these things got, which makes sense because if you
the
haven't
devil.
guessed, they're kind of in purgatory. They're in hell. They're being tortured by the devil.
Well, you say tortured. That brings up a point that I kind of wanted to make with this movie, right?
Yeah.
Because the neighbors that get sucked in before John Ritter and Pam Dauber, the Seidenbaums,
Yeah.
he's having the time of his life.
Because his wife is dead.
Well, he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah.
He said in here, I'm the big shot, or I'm Boss Seidenbaum, whatever. And I was thinking, like, you know what? Is this supposed to be bad? Like, it is, right?
Eventually,
If I got sucked into this fucking TV world, I would be having the time of my life. This is this is fucking cool. And then when they're the cartoons, right? They're like transitioning from like one dangerous situation to arguably a more dangerous situation. And they transition into, there's a scene where they transition and they are cartoons. You can't get any worse, right? Before they get into and then it's like, couldn't get any worse, all we're cartoons. And I'm like, no, that's not worse, that's better, that's cool. Who would want to be a cartoon? But this, it's like fresh new recruits. It's like, oh, is this really, oh my God, are the stakes really that bad? Oh, if I don't survive this fun TV land thing, I'm going to work for Jeffrey Jones. Okay. Well,
Couple things.
That's, well,
Yeah.
that aside.
Yeah, okay.
But we're not going to address
No, current events, aside. We're of age, so I guess we'd be fine. I think, something I did want to comment on.
Yes.
Because, like, you see hell and...
it doesn't seem like a bad gig there.
No. But, so once you go to
find
hell...
the channel you want, and
they have that
you live there, and it's like you said.
So, something that I kind of like movie-wise, the new recruit there.
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah. At first,
intern.
I was like, oh, is he, like, working for heaven? He seemed a little, like, suspicious. He seemed a little, like, something was going on.
Like
but then...
like a spy for heaven
or something like that. But then it just... Because, like, then it just turns out he just wanted to replace...
Right.
I was like, I feel like they could have done something there. Like, he
Yeah.
was their guardian angel or something,
Right.
and he could have sabotaged or whatever. But that aside, it was... Again, the premise was awesome. All the little vignettes were great. I think my biggest thing was I'm just not a huge John Ritter fan. I think nothing really stood out as, like, laugh funny. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing was...
I could see that.
It was more... almost. Honestly, to me, it was less a comedy, other than, like, the little vignettes. It was more an adventure.
Or a fantasy.
It was more an adventure. Like,
sure.
How's he going to get out of this situation? How's he going to get out of this situation?
But see,
none of it was, like, comedic to me. It had a comedic tone, but it wasn't, like, funny to me.
What I like is he's kind of this fuck up. Like, especially, like, when they're first sucked in. Mm-hmm. His wife is actually the one that's kind of...
saved them.
Yeah, a couple times. Like, early on, right? Mm-hmm. and so he's kind of like... But then, what I like about it, though, is they go through... Because they have, like, a loveless marriage at the start of the film, right? And they go through this... Spoilers. They go through this, like, gauntlet of arguably television horrors.
Yeah.
And they come out of it closer.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, because they had this, like, shared crazy supernatural weirdo once in several lifetime experience, right? And they're, like, closer, like, because of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I it's simple, I guess, but I kind of like that. Like, I just don't understand your John Ritter hate.
I just don't think there's something about him that just, like I just have not found funny.
Who cares
Nothing
about
him
funny, though? Like,
it's a comedy.
Is it? But doesn't he seem? I mean, again,
he's a very everyday kind of guy, which is nice.
Doesn't he seem like a nice man though? Like if you met him,
I have no problems with John Ritter.
Yeah,
his humor is just never got like
Tim Allen. I can't stand Tim Allen.
I love Tim Allen.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm quitting this show.
John Candy.
Okay, so I can agree that there's people that, like, you can find something, like, not funny but still entertaining, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or even, like, something that is supposed to be, like, dubbed a comedy, you can find it entertaining but not funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, this movie was entertaining for sure. I just didn't find it funny. John Ritter, I think, played a great everyday man, like, literally just a husband who was just like a blah salesman.
Oh, you never guessed. Did you say bra salesman?
No, like
It's
a
not
blah
Sein-
salesman.
Oh.
He's like a blah salesman.
You never guessed what his wife was from.
No.
Mark and Mindy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Which makes me kind of think early, like, Hook, Robin Williams would have been awesome in this movie.
Okay, sure.
And John, I don't think anyone could have, like, rocked this movie just based on the script. Because there was, like, no real jokes. It was just, like, him just doing kind of, like...
jokes.
Not, like, I think the jokes were, like, the little...
shows.
Yeah. But I don't think, like, him...
Okay, your criticism
Yeah.
is something that I've read about as far as criticisms of this film. They, people were saying that it was kind of hard to peg. Like, critics were saying when it came out, like, is it a black comedy? It's not quite black to be a black comedy.
Yeah.
Is it a lighthearted comedy? It's a little too dark to be a lighthearted comedy. But my, like, response to all of that is, who gives a shit? Why does it have to...
No.
Yeah.
I just feel like because it falls in a gap, it doesn't excel at anything. Like
Jack of all trades,
Yeah.
master of none.
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is like a comedic adventure.
Right.
It's not funny, but it's
Well,
entertaining.
There's some funny parts.
But it's entertaining. The most important
Stay
part...
Tuned is entertaining.
That's what I'm saying. It is
Oh.
entertaining. I'm just saying I think with the premise, they could have done so much comedically.
I don't know.
Along with it being like an adventure, which that's the one thing I feel like I'm a little disappointed in. I love the premise. It's very entertaining, but to me it's just like all I did was I saw it and I thought of the potential of it, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, all right, yeah.
Ratings now then?
Yeah.
Give me your wait. You're really shitting on it, I think. So I think you know what I think. Traditionally, his ratings are always higher than mine. I think it's going to be reversed this time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think you're.
Do you want to guess my rating?
Do you want to guess mine? Do you want to guess each other's, or do we just want to do it?
I'll guess yours.
Hold on, let me get it.
We can always edit it out.
Yeah. All right, I got mine.
Because I think because you're a nostalgic person. A movie that
What does that mean?
No, because a movie that you've seen a bunch of times, it's touched with your childhood. you connect with hardcore.
That's
so I'm going to
true.
say 8.5.
You fucker, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Because nothing will ever be 9 or 10 because
Yeah,
9 or 10 is like that is something for therapy has to get you to 9 or 10.
I can't,
you are an 8.5 cap person.
He's kind of right. We've discussed that. I think we mentioned it in a previous video. Maybe did we? I don't know.
Because one of your favorite games of all time, and you're like 8.5.
Well,
winning the lottery, what would you give it? 8.5.
Well, which is kind of funny.
Going to hell, what would you rate it?
10. If it was like Stay Tuned, like 10. Holodeck 10.
Body bag 10. Winning the lottery 8.5.
So no, but it's funny because you brought it back to that whole joke because I always joke with you about you rating everything 8.5, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, I would say there is movies that I would rate above 8.5. There, I can think of them all. But you're right. It's,
LA Confidential.
It's very rare. I don't know, maybe. That's not what I was thinking of, but I'd have to mull it over more.
Yeah.
But you're right though. That is what I had it in my head.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
I rated 8.5. Let me guess yours then. I'll go low. 6.5.
I was going to say 5.5.
What the fuck? Wait, you were gonna say? Well, what are you gonna say?
Oh, no, I'm saying 5.5.
How? There's not a boring part in this film.
No, but like
It's not boring.
It doesn't razzle dazzle.
It doesn't. I don't care about your razzle dazzle. You want someone to like fucking like come out of the screen and like tickle your nuts? Like what do you want out of a movie? It has everything you need in a movie. To be fair, I'm gonna shit on him a lot, and I'm gonna continue to shit on him a lot. But to be fair, when this movie came out, he's in the majority. A lot of people did not like this film critically. All right, go ahead.
No, I can't say anything more than I love the premise, and I was thinking.
Were you just bored? You know what?
No, I wasn't bored.
You were rubbing on your phone the whole time
No.
you were watching it, and then you said, "So I'm going to give it a 5.5."
I was not bored.
You were.
I just remember thinking like,
"This is such
yeah, it's alright. It's funny. It's entertaining. All right." But like here's my biggest thing.
He likes Tim Allen, so what can you
biggest thing
what can you expect?
I don't know if I want to.
Home Improvement 10.
I never
he gives
need
Home
to
Improvement 10.
I never need to watch it again. That's the thing. I'm like, oh yeah, pretty good, but yeah,
It was fun. It's
That was
fun.
fun.
You don't like have fun? What do you have against fun?
it's fun. Just like
What do you-
not like fun.
Like, I'm supposed to be the anti-fun guy. You're the fun guy. That's our archetypes here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
what do you have against fun? Answer me that simple question.
it just didn't have Tim Allen in it.
Okay.
I
5.5?
yeah. I just because
5.5.
just because I'm like
C minus. No. Was that a
that's
C minus?
F. Yeah. Anything below like a 65 is like an F. But I don't consider it an F. I consider it a good movie. It's just like not enough to like make me want
You
to
got a
watch it
music
again.
video in it. You got Wayne's World in it. You got noir in it. You got wrestling in it. You got cartoons in it. You got sitcoms in it. You got game shows in it. You got the French Revolution in it. You got westerns in it. You got
the French Revolution in it. What more can you ask for?
all the other things I said.
I think because every single time we went to one of those, all I remember thinking like, it could be more entertaining. It could be funnier. It could be something.
Everything could be something.
Yeah. In those movies, I give 8.5.
You're fucking a dick. No.
I feel like a movie with potential
Like-
that doesn't rise to it, 5.5.
This is the man who rated Pandorum over like. What'd you rate Pandorum? Remind me. 8.5 probably.
Probably.
Stay tuned.
Where have you been?
He loves Disturbed. Ooh, wah,
Ooh, what?
ooh, wah. No, but I mean,
You are gay.
Who'd you cast in it?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I would reanimate John Ritter, and cast.
The lava lamp guy? Are you
like-
gonna cancel us? Bring us down, motherfucker!
I like. In Soviet Russia, the toilet pees on you.